In recent news, U.S. Senate defeats bid to stop F-16 fighter jet sale to Turkey. Did I do it right?
Don't ask me, dude. Apparently, I
The
don't know.
massive country of Turkey. And that's not sarcasm.
No, yeah.
They're a huge country, just so you know. We've learned from our ways. The U.S. Senate on Thursday soundly defeated an effort to stop the $23 billion sale of F-16s and modernization kits to Turkey. Remember, we talked about this before, that they had approved a whole bunch of stuff, right? F-35s to Greece, the Hellenic Air Force. We talked about how that was kind of because they've got that GNC stuff going on, and we're like, oh, that's kind of, but they're all NATO partners. And the reason, we'll talk about actually the reason why here in the next segment about the S-400 and why they probably didn't get the F-35, but they had gotten a modernization. So they were going to be upgraded to kind of that Block 70, what everybody else calls the Viper, even though they're all Vipers, with the ESA radar and the new pods, the HDS pods, the missiles, everything you could imagine, both buying new jets off the factory, which obviously is good because it keeps the factory going, and then also modernization. But the Senate, sponsored by Rand Paul, had tried to block it, saying that the sale would embolden misbehavior. And the backers of the sale said it's important for Washington to keep its word for a NATO ally. And basically, the vote went 79-13. So it really wasn't party lines. It was pretty, that's a pretty big margin. Biden administration had informed Congress on January 26th of its intent to proceed with the sale of 40 F-16s and 80 modernization kits to Turkey a day after they fully completed ratification and NATO membership of Sweden. So that might have been part of the deal. Hey, if you ratify Sweden. The sale had been held up for months, issues including refusing to approve Sweden's accession to the military alliance. Turkey first asked to make the purchase in October of 21. So this has been going for a while. You know, you're talking better part of 2 years. U.S. Arms Export Control Acts give Congress the right to stop a major weapons sale by passing a resolution of disapproval in both the Senate and the House. Although laws have been in effect for half a century, no such resolution has passed both passed Congress and survived a veto. So odds are if that would have happened, he would have just vetoed it anyway. Sweden and Finland applied to enter NATO after Russia invaded Ukraine in February 2022. Finnish membership was sealed last year. Sweden's bid was held up by Turkey and Hungary. All NATO members need approve applications from countries seeking to join the alliance. So we've talked about the good and the bad, right? For now, they are NATO allies, and I don't think that's going to change. I'm just saying as the current as it sits, they are NATO allies. And as such, if you're going to say they're NATO allies, then we have to support our NATO partners.
Yeah, the only thing that, I'm a huge supporter of just doing business instead of war with the entire world. But I do find it strange that, and I guess, we're going to talk about it a little bit more later, but, we're not going to sell you the F-35s because you bought the S-400, but we are going to sell you F-16s with the modernization kits. So, the F-16, the ones they're getting with the more modern ones is a pretty advanced airplane. It's not an F-35, but it's an advanced airplane. And I just think it's strange that, like, okay, if you're going to penalize a country like Turkey for buying an S-400, then I'm surprised it's not including the F-16. Like, no, you guys want to play with the Russians, that's fine. But I understand they're NATO ally. I just find it interesting. That's all.
Yeah, but I think the logic is not necessarily punishment, is exploitation, right? If you have Russian partners that are giving you S-400s, the Russians who are on the ground are going to take that and use it to exploit the F-35. They're going to test it against it.
100%.
They will get all the data, and we don't want that. The F-16 has been around, and remember, we're not producing the F-16 for ourselves anymore. Not a single F-16 that rolls off the assembly line goes to the U.S. anymore. The only F-16s now. Do I agree with that? No, I think we should buy. Squadrons worth of them, mini squadrons. But as of right now, every F-16 that rolls off the lot is foreign material sales. It's an export version. So they're already getting what the U.S. State Department has approved technology-wise for them to get. So it's no different than any other country, right? It's not the F-35 technology that we talk about. It's F-16 technology that is specific to them. So
I understand that, but you know, there is technology there that it just surprises me that they would pick and choose like that. I mean, I understand the F-35 S-400, sure, but you know, I consider the F-16 still a very lethal weapon in the game of.
It is, but again, it's the export version of the
Yeah, I know.
F-16.
Oh, I know.
It's the one that's being built specifically for these countries. I mean, Taiwan's getting them.
Oh,
I
I
think
know.
Singapore is also getting them.
Yep.
You know, all of these allied countries are buying the exact same, and all they're doing is giving modernization kits and brand new jets. Now, granted, the technology has caught up so that these F-16s are just as good as ours, but the trump card is we've still got the F-35, we've got the F-22, we've got the F-15EX, US versions and stuff like that. So, you know,
Yeah. I don't know.
yeah.
I just still think it's weird, but that's just my own opinion. I'm glad they're getting them, man.
Well, and we're going to talk about that here in the next or future segment about the reason that might change, right? The F-35 thing might change because they're kind of changing their tune a little bit as well, but we'll see.